Hey, curl friends! Thank you for your patience. I know we're not starting exactly at 5 p.m. the way we usually do, but I really appreciate your patience. Hey, Island Girl, what's up? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for today's live just because these are tips that I haven't really shared. Like, I haven't, right? Like, I like to try to keep things as fresh as possible here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. And, so much of the information it really just comes down to the healthy things that you're doing for your hair. So this today's topic, of course, is Find Naturals. Do this and your natural hair will thrive. And I really do believe it. Like, honestly, once I changed my mind, my frame of thinking, sorry, my face is itchy. Once I changed my frame of thinking and I just started doing things that were like in alignment with this, I noticed a drastic difference for everything. So I'm so sorry, girlfriend. My face is like really itchy. Hi, love yourself. What's up? Okay. So, what is this big thing? I'm gonna wait for a couple of other curl friends to join us. I also want to say, it's a beautiful Friday. It's very nice out here in Toronto. I hope it's gorgeous where you're at. It's supposed to be nice. I have some friends who are already in Vegas because we're going to Vegas for someone's bachelorette. So excited. So they're there a week early and they're like, it's gorgeous. Like, it's so nice outside. So I hope that wherever you are, you're enjoying this beautiful weather too, because it's just been so needed. Hi, Hamza. What's up? Hey, Erlene. Wow. Thank you so much. I don't think you and I have ever connected before, Erlene. But thank you so much for joining Find Natural Hair Rocks. And thank you to anybody who's brand new to Find Natural Hair Rocks. We have quite a few new girlfriends. And I want to say that's because of you. You've been enjoying it. You've been sharing it. You've been liking. To that point, go ahead and like this live if you're enjoying this so far. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Lavinia Latham, and I am the founder of Find Natural Hair Rocks. I'm not a hair care specialist, but I am a lawyer. And so I do apply, the legal, like that kind of like mind frame that I have of like just logic and analysis and like really just like being very regimented about, okay, this didn't work here, so try something else type thing. I apply that to hair care. And so far, it's really been, affording me some good, results here. And so that's something that I really want to help others with. Hi, Movette. Welcome to the Curlfriend crew. Welcome, Erlene. Welcome, Movette. Welcome, anybody who's in the Curl chat watching silently. Hello to the replay gang. Eventually the replay gang will be joining us. You should know that I do come live every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a new topic related to Find Natural Hair. Also, to that point, so happy that everything is back. We did go through a little bit of, turbulent waters here on YouTube. The name was changed and now we're back. Hey, Nadoom. Hey, Nadoom. So, yeah, what is this big mind blowing, changing thing that you need to do for your natural hair, your fine natural hair, specifically to thrive? And that is, get ready for it, avoid tangles. Now, that's very simplistic in and of itself, but there's more to it because if you approach your hair care from a stage of I'm avoiding tangles, like I'm not looking for tangles, I'm avoiding tangles. The reason why this one thing works so well is because it's going to inform the other things that you do. And I'm going to share three major things that avoiding tangles, if that's your end goal to avoid tangles, these three things are going to help you do so. Number one, moisturizing regularly, but more importantly, before your hair dries out. So once your hair starts to dry out, that's when your strands are really like at their weakest point. That's when they're starting to like love up on each other. You try to get, rid of the loving up on each other. You try to divorce the strands and the strands, they break off, right? They just fall apart and they die. That's not where we want to be. That's not conducive to length retention. Hi, Patricia Jenkins. What's up? So yeah, like you just don't want to be in that place. So, moisturizing regularly with your favorite moisturizer. It's not a moisturizer if it doesn't start with, the ingredients don't start with water. You really want to be using either a water-based product, so like a curl refresher, like a curl spray. And I'm going to be sharing more of those with you in the future, but some of my favorite ones at the moment is like the Oyen Handmade Juices and Berries. Sultanicals has a really nice one as well. I think that one is I think it was called King tresses or something like that, or nap drink, something. But their products, they cycle through them very here and there. And so, or you could also use like a cream-based moisturizer, so or a leave-in. A leave-in can be a moisturizer as well too. If Carl, hi Carl, Carl's on the live. So yeah, you can absolutely use any kind of curl refresher. Like a curl refresher could be used too, as long as it's not one of those curl refreshers that has like gels and stuff in it, right? So really and truly, what you're looking for is something that has a water base to it. And once you moisturize and avoid that dryness, you will avoid the tangles that come next. To that point, the second thing that you want to do that's really going to, do this, and I promise you, girlfriend, your hair is going to thrive, is installing styles that don't tangle your hair. So if you know you've got fine strands and your fine strands don't respond well to really tiny things, right? So tiny things like mini twists, mini braids. Some of us here in the curl crew, the curl chat, girlfriend crew, we can get away with wash and goes and we're okay. Others can't. I'm one of those girlfriends. I haven't found what helps me enjoy a wash and go, but at the same time doesn't break off the strands. I haven't gotten there yet. But if that's a style that when you put it in your hair, it tangles things up, and when you take it out, it tangles things up, then you probably want to make sure that you're avoiding those styles. So you often hear on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, you'll see me with a bun, right? This is a style after I use my Revere that I actually don't have as many tangles. And the tangles that I do have, I'm able to use very low manipulation ways to get rid of them. So, for example, right now it's blown out. I will go in with a butter because the butter doesn't, like, it's been moisturized before I did the blowout. So I did my deep conditioning session, put in a leave-in conditioner, and then put my heat protectant on top of it before blowing it out, right? That's all done. The moisture's locked in. To lock in that moisture even more, I've been using a butter which allows the strands to remain whatever's in there closed into there in terms of that moisturization, but then it also allows the strands to move past each other really well too, right? So that moving past each other thing is what really makes me avoid tangles, and in avoiding tangles, I avoid breakage, which leads to more length retention and ultimately more thickness too. Because here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, our concern with fine natural hair isn't just we want longer hair, it's we want thicker hair. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I've been that's where I've been enjoying my journey the most as I progress to the hair that I really want to enjoy and to thrive and have. Island Girl says, I can't do wash and goes, wetting my hair too much dries it out. Exactly. So that's a perfect example. Like Island Girl knows exactly what her hair likes, what her hair needs. And so, knowing that you can't do wash and goes, some girlfriends can. I know we've got girlfriends in the curl chat who wash and goes work really well. And wash and goes can be a protective style if your hair enjoys it, if your hair can handle it. Similarly, kinky twists can be a protective style that can work if your hair can handle it. Braids, like box braids. I know tons of naturals who box braids actually grows their hair. For me and mine, if I'm installing box braids, it's not because I'm trying to grow my hair out, it's because I just want to enjoy the style, right? And so knowing the difference between what's going to cause tangles and what's not is really going to make that difference for you. Kneebank says, what butter do you use? That's an excellent question. So I actually use something called Shea Bay, and it's a Shea Bay butter from this company called Shea Bay USA. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go shopping right now. We're not going to buy anything, but I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if this is going to let me do it today. Yes, it is. Look at us. We're in luck. All right. So you should be seeing the Shea Bay USA website right now. Girlfriend, I am not affiliated with Shea Bay USA anymore. I did do a video for them actually in the past, and I can leave that link. But I'm not affiliated in a specific formal partnership type way. I really just want to make sure that you have access to the things that have actually been working for me. And if you do reach out to Shea Bay USA, let them know you heard about them from Fine Natural Hair Rocks. They appreciate that type of support because the product is good. So this is the Shea Bay butter right here. What I like about it is that it is a natural ingredient made from shea bay powder from the Republic of Chad in Central Africa. And so the ingredients are super clean. The scent is more earthy. So if you're somebody who doesn't like earthy scents, for me it doesn't necessarily bother me. I really need like healthy ingredients that are going to nourish my hair, but also nourish my body. Like I don't want to be putting things on top of my head that can cause, issues in the bloodstream or in the cells, whatever, right? Always trying to be healthy here. And so as you can see, the ingredients are really nice. I always pronounce this incorrectly, girlfriend. I think it's capuchu butter, Sirabellina, cocoa butter, shea butter, olive oil, shea butter, powder. It's a really fantastic butter, and it really does work to keep things nice and moisturized. Mahunza says any twist or plait that is smaller than my index finger is going to, I think this is the index, right? Yeah. Is going to lock with matting in about a week. See, that's the kind of, understanding. That's the kind of just like having that awareness. That's the word I was looking for. That's the awareness that you really need when you're avoiding tangles, because girlfriend, there's so much information out there. So here on Find Natural Hair Rocks, I'm not trying to get anyone to convert to what I'm doing with my hair, because number one, your hair is different. Number two, you are unique. And number three, you require a regimen that's going to take into consideration all the things that makes you and your hair unique. Your lifestyle is different. Your hair is different. Your location is different. There are so many different things that really mean something for you that doesn't necessarily mean something for me. And so, that being said, here on Find Natural Hair Rocks, I want you to gain the tools to understand what works specifically for you. So it works for me and you can try it, but don't lose hope, lose faith. Don't feel that because it's not working for you, something's wrong with your hair. Because it's not working for you, you're doing something wrong. No, sometimes it's just that it didn't work for you and you've got to try something else. So for some people, twists and plaits of any size works really, really well. For someone like me, it doesn't really work that well. My hair actually really likes being in like low manipulation styles like this. You touch it once and you just leave it alone. And you leave it alone in ways where it could just be, right? How do I keep this moisturized or all together at night? I literally just put on my bonnet and I go to sleep like this, right? And it's fine. Or I might put it in a ponytail and then just band the length of the ponytail so that the hair isn't just flying all over the place in my bonnet. Those are things that I've learned to do to avoid tangles. Kneebank says, wow, I wanted to try them too. Good, I will try them now. Yeah, they're really, really good, girlfriend. I really like them. The company is a small Black-owned business. And Shea USA, like I said, I did do a review about their products way back when. I'm gonna go ahead and share the link in case you're interested in that, girlfriend, because I think that they're a really great company, and that if you wanted to patronize their products, their services, it would be a wonderful place to start. Hi, Amina. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the Curlfriend chat today. So good to see you. Patricia says, my hair shrinks a lot. That's why I don't do a lot of wash and goes. Yeah. And you know what? As a fine natural with high shrinkage hair, I also experience that as well, where it's the shrinkage that causes that tangling, and it's the shrinkage that if you are a really tightly curly, kinky, coily natural, you really want to make sure that you're stretching your hair more often to what, again, avoid tangles. And I don't talk a lot about that specific reason here on Find Natural Hair Rocks, but I was sitting down and I was thinking about it the other night, and I was like, I think what really makes the difference is doing things to avoid tangles. Because if you boil everything back and you look at what's the main foundation piece to a regimen, a good regimen for all naturals, it always comes back down to avoiding tangles. We deep condition our hair. Why? Because you want to avoid tangles, right? Deep conditioning the hair allows it to become more pliable, more plush, especially if you're doing a moisturizing deep conditioning treatment. And then that, for some naturals, myself included, gives me a better base to work with to remove those tangles and to keep the hair plush, right? Love yourself. Hi, Mary. Hey. Says, I notice my hair has less tangles when stretched. I normally wear it in a bun. Yes. And see, there it is again, that kind of foundational approach where it's like you put in a bun to stretch the hair. And in stretching the hair, you then have less tangles, right? And if you have less tangles in your style, you take it down and you do wash day. Wash day is going to be a lot easier too. So there's the link again, girlfriend, if anybody's interested. If you are enjoying these tips, if you've ever enjoyed a video here on Find Natural Hair Rocks, the best way to support Find Natural Hair Rocks is to go ahead and like. Also, share with a friend if you know somebody who's struggling with their natural hair journey. It doesn't have to be fine natural hair specifically, but these tips do help naturals who also have fragile hair, whether it's fine, yes or no, to really find those ways to use to lean into their hair care regimens in ways that's going to be conducive to the goals that they're seeking, whether it's length, whether it's thickness, whatever it is. Hey, Bernice. Hi. Thank you for coming. Thank you for logging on and joining me on your precious Friday afternoon. I really do appreciate that. Island girl, my shrinkage rate is about 70%. Yeah, see, so if your shrinkage rate is about 70%, that's going to be a shrinkage level that you might want to consider, wearing more stretch styles. Again, avoiding those tangles. And some of us can go ahead and rock curly styles and not experience, the tangling. And for you, you are very lucky, girlfriend. But for me and mine, it just doesn't work. And there are some girlfriends who experience that as well. Knee banks, thank you. Does high porosity or low porosity hair matter? Yes. So that matters as it relates to the products that you use and the way in which you layer your products. So if you've got low porosity hair, your main issue is that it's very difficult to get moisture in, but once it gets in, it stays in. The cuticle is pretty tightly closed, and so it's just hard to pry it open. We pry it open with heat. As soon as the hair cools down, boom, it closes. Now, high porosity hair, the cuticle layers, they kind of stay open all the time, and so moisture flows in very easily, but it flows out very easily as well too. So for someone like Unibanks, I think that there's a really great place for, oh, there's those like blind stuff again. I'm sorry, girlfriends. 1 second. There we go. There we go. What happens is I have like blinds on the other side, girlfriend. And so sometimes I get these lines as the lights go down. But anywho, I digress. So, yes, when it comes to high porosity products, there's a really good place for you and butters. So if you go ahead and you moisturize your hair with water, your hair's feeling plush, it's feeling beautiful, it's feeling great and strong, and moisturized. You want to go in with a butter finally, or like a really nice heavy oil, and seal all of that in. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error process for you because, as a high porosity fine natural, yes, you want to close the cuticle. You want to, seal off the moisture from, popping out of your strands. But at the same time, you don't want to weigh your strands down. So I would say to really just play around with the oils, play around with the butters, and see what works best for you. For me, in my experience, coconut oil, there was a point when I was using a lot of coconut oil. And then I, progressed to using other oils instead. There's that viral Mael Organics oil that I think is really nice, and it's not too heavy. And then there's also the Shea Bay USA butter that I mentioned earlier. I find it's very light, but it's also very effective. So, whether you're a low porosity fine natural or a high porosity fine natural, I think that at the end of the day, just by virtue of being a fine natural, you don't want to be using products that are going to weigh the hair right down. You really want to be keeping in mind that you want your strands as light as possible so that you can get as thickness and fullness through the fluffy appearance as much as possible too. Patricia Jenkins, how can I stretch my hair? Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So, if you don't have the Revere, that has been game changer for me. I don't sing the praises so much because I'm a partner, but because it really does work for me. But if you don't have that, then the other thing that you could do is you could band your hair. So after wash day, you can literally take a couple of like hair ties, maybe section your hair off in like 4 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever works for you. And then you just band the hair. So you put a hairband here, and then you do another one until you get all the way down the length of your ponytail. And then you just repeat the same thing across your head. That will stretch your curls out. Another thing that will stretch your curls out is braiding it. So like if you do a cornrow, I've been known to do that as well too. Nice cornrows, and then you undo it and you've got like stretched hair, but you also have texture and you also have a nice curl as well. So you can kind of just, a curl that's similar to your texture, and, respecting your texture. And that can also avoid those tangles as well. Island Girl says, high porosity dry scalp person here. Keeping my hair and scalp moisturized and low manipulation is the key to length retention for me. Yes. So, that low manipulation piece and the scalp moisturization, those are two key things. And it doesn't surprise me, Island Girl, that you mentioned that, because that's what's going to keep your hair tangle free. If you're letting your hair dry out and it's feeling crispy, if you're, installing styles that you need to use like a fine tooth comb to get through your hair, or, you need to use like very abrasive, installation techniques to add to it, and you're doing those things often hoping for length, it's not going to happen. So the point of what I'm saying, girlfriend, as it relates to installation of styles, is not that I'm saying don't ever do styles that are, enjoyable. Like, don't do braids, don't do twists, don't do things that are going to damage your hair. I mean, yes, I'm saying that as it relates to wanting to thicken your hair and wanting to lengthen your hair. Now, you still need to have fun with your strands, girlfriend, and there is a place for that. But the big takeaway piece here is that if you are doing styles that you know your hair doesn't necessarily like, you're doing the style because you just love the style and you want a fun look. There's no utility to it, right? And there's a place for that. But if you're installing styles on your hair, you have no idea how it's going to impact your hair. You hope that it's going to thicken your hair and lengthen your hair because you've seen somebody else's hair be thickened and lengthened by that method. It's not going to work. And girlfriend, I share that with you, not from a place of like I'm telling anyone what to do, but that was my experience. Like, I have been that natural who, I saw one of my best friends using box braids and her hair was growing like a weed. I tried it and my hair was breaking off like, a beautiful tulip flower, like a delicate flower. Like, it was just breaking, breaking, breaking. And I couldn't understand why for years. Then, there was the instance when I thought that if I did mini twists, I found a natural hair on YouTube who was doing mini twists and her hair was growing really nice and long. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do mini twists. Did mini twists, and lo and behold, what happened to me? My hair broke off. So, I mean, those things at the time, I didn't understand why. Looking back, I realized that the styles that I was trying to use on my strands solely for length retention and solely for thickness was working for other naturals, but they weren't working for me. And so that is the most important piece. If you're watching Find Natural Hair Rocks or you're watching any other natural hair on YouTube, recognize that what they're doing is working for them. There is no one size fits all, but there is one principle fits all, and that's avoiding tangles. Hamza. After last Friday's tips, I decided to use a wide tooth comb after finger detangling, and what a difference it has made to reduce the tangles. Thanks for that tip. You are so welcome. That fills my heart with joy, Mahumza, because the thing is for far too long, we've been suffering as a community. As fine naturals, we've been suffering, and we've kind of been left out of this conversation, right? Like, when people think of natural hair, when people think of curly hair, they think of like thick and luscious and full, and, really, maybe there is a certain understanding that curly hair is more fragile than other hair types, but not to the level and to the extent of fine natural hair. And so, it's really important that, we have this community that we're able to share with. And to that point, I never ever want to lose connections with you. So if anything terrible happens on YouTube, there's always a link at the bottom, girlfriend, to join the Girlfriend Crew newsletter list. I don't spam emails, nothing like that. It really is just meant to have a way to connect if I ever lose connection with you here on YouTube for whatever reason. Highly unlikely, but you never know. I mean, COVID was highly unlikely too, right? So, is it too early for that joke? I don't know. I think, we've moved on a little bit beyond it. But yeah, like, the pandemic kind of caught us off guard, and so can other things, right? So always just making sure that we're in a place where we can bounce back if these things happen. We can remain connected here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. Patricia, are Flexi Rocks good for fine naturals to use? I think they are, Patricia. I really do. So just because, it depends on, like, again, like how small or how big they are. So for me, I'm thinking medium to large. Once you start getting into the smaller flexi rod sets, I don't think it's the flexi rod itself that's dangerous. I think it's the installation and the takedown. So the installation might be fine, but the takedown when your hair dries on the flexi rods could result in some breakage. So I feel like with fine strands, and again, this is apply it to your hair, see how this works. But for me, with my fine strands, anything that is very small in nature tends to create tangles, which tends to create breakage. And that's an issue, right? In terms of length retention and like getting thicker strands. So I would say, in terms of flexi rods, go ahead, try it out, see how your hair responds to it. If you absolutely love the style, then, of course keep doing it, but just recognize and be aware that it might not be, or it might be, very good for length retention depending on how much tangles it provides. The third piece to reducing tangles, which has been major, is making sure all your products, they encourage slip. So, if you're using a product and that product has terrible slip, like you had tangly hairs to begin with, you put the product in and it's not doing anything, or even worse, it's making your tangles even worse, chuck it. Honestly, girlfriend, chuck it or give it away to somebody who, might be able to benefit from that. And don't feel bad about giving away a product that doesn't work for you. There have been so many instances where, like, I've got a lot of women in my family, a lot of girls are in my family. I have two cousins that are female, and then I also have a niece, and then I have three aunts and my mom. Like, there's a lot of women in my family. And so when something doesn't work for me, girlfriend, there's a lot of people waiting to take that off of my hands, right? And it's great because it's like, it might not work for me, but then my aunt is saying it worked amazingly for her, or my little niece who's now 18, 19, doesn't have the funds as a teenager in university to buy expensive products. She can come and she can take advantage of them and find things that she likes. So, I don't feel bad about giving away products that don't work for me, because it doesn't mean the product is bad. It just means that the product doesn't respond very well to my particular hair characteristics. Now, the stuff that works for me, I use it every single time, because if it's working, it's working. And so the way you can find the products that are working for you is to really pay attention to what's providing slip. Now, proteins are a little bit different, especially like heavy protein treatments. So if you're using something like AphoG, like, you're never going to find a heavy protein treatment that provides lots of slip. That's just not the purpose of the product. But you might be able to find leave-in conditioners that has a little bit of protein in it that can also provide some slip. So the one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head is the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil leave-in. That's got some protein in it, not so much that your hair is going to get too hard and break off, but not so little that it's not going to do anything either. I like to think of it as a nice way to kind of maintain the balance in the hair, and it has nice slip on it, at least for my strands. So that's kind of something to take into consideration too. Hi, Joan. Hey, welcome back to the Curlfriend crew. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Kneebank says, yes, that's me right now. I have high porosity hair. However, my hair rejects every product I have used. It loves deep conditioners, but rejects/absorbs fast any moisturizers or butters and causes breakage. So when you have breakage, you really want to try and hone down on what's causing the breakage. Are you getting breakage because your hair is over moisturized, which you can tell if it's super gummy? Or are you getting breakage because it's has too much protein in it, which you can tell if your hair is too hard? So I want you to go back with that, knee banks, and just try and pay attention to what your products have in it. So, like, the products you've been using lately, are they more moisturizing or are they more protein? And when you wet your hair, is your hair feeling like it's so gummy? Like, if it's feeling super gummy, that's not a good place. I've suffered, what felt like a type of hygro fatigue, too much moisture, over moisturization, and my hair started to break. And once I did my research and I consulted with hair professionals and hair experts, that's when I learned that I had too much moisture in the hair, which was causing damage. And you can correct that with a protein treatment. Now, the other way around, if you've got too much protein, you can correct that with doing more moisturizing treatments. So we're always looking for that nice balance between having a good amount of moisture and having a good amount of protein. Island Girl, I found products that work for me by spending money trying different things. I give away the stuff that doesn't work for me. Yeah. See, so, like, I mean, it could be tough. Like, let's be real. Like, the natural hair space, the hair space period, not even just natural hair space, the black hair space period, the textured hair space period. These are spaces that are not cheap, right? And they will never be cheap. So it is an investment, but I believe it's a great investment in yourself just because, when you look good, you feel good. And hair is attached to how you feel in terms of confidence, in terms of your self-esteem, and those things are very important. You should feel comfortable walking outside with your own hair, absolutely nothing on it, and really just feeling like your best self. And if that means spending money to take care of yourself, I mean, why not, right? That's just my philosophy as it relates to my hair. As a student, when I was in school studying to become a lawyer, it was very important to me that my hair was looking good for school and for whatever interactions I had in my life. But at the time, it was, you know, I was just trying to figure out like how to even get to this. And so now if I could go back to that, instead of spending money on like installing hairstyles to cover it on up, I would have put the money into like, more money anyways, into trying products that would actually heal the hair within and then up. I mean, to that point too, there wasn't as much available. The natural hair space has exploded in the best of ways with products available. Still haven't seen a lot for fine strands. I see a little bit here and there, but yeah, that's a deficit that I'm like, I think we need a fine strand, like a fine textured strand brand. Like, I don't know if you know of one, let me know, girlfriend. I don't know it. I haven't seen it, but yes, like I've kind of been like, huh, how would the girlfriend crew feel? How would Fine Natural Hair Rocks feel if we had a brand that really understood our hair, And that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for that brand that understands fine natural curls, understands fine natural fine textured hair, or fine strands, period, and is creating products for it, creating products specifically for fine strands. Katrina, my edges are coming back from just using Blue Magic and shampooing with Carol's daughter from foam shampoo. Yeah, I feel like if you were using Blue Magic, so like I saw that trend. There was a trend where people were like, yeah, Blue Magic is good, blah, blah, blah. It might have been good in the past, but I don't know, like, and it could still be good as a sealant depending on how you use it. But I mean, for the majority of people, I could see how just using that can cause breakage, especially if it's not being used in addition to like something moisturizing before it. Because what it will do, Blue Magic, is essentially seal everything out. You do not want to seal dry strands. That is a very good way to accelerate breakage, which of course is the opposite. Now, the Carol's Daughter foam shampoo, it sounds like that product might not have worked well for you. And so, yeah, that's why you're 100% right that, you really want to be trying different things to see what works the best. Patricia, I'm trying to decide whether to try a flexi rod set or a braid out. So, yeah, that's amazing. It's so nice to try out new styles. I can tell you I've done both. The flexi rod set was it wasn't that it was harder to install. It was just as easy to install as a braid out once you get the technique down. But the issue was that I feel like the braid out kind of lasted a bit longer in a way that could be stretched longer, at least for my curls, right? Whereas a braid out, like you don't really need anything. It was a little bit more intuitive to like install. But for those of us who can't braid or don't braid as well, I think a flexi rod set is fantastic for really just like stretching the hair and getting a nice look while you do it. Gail Tully, I think you should make one. I think so too. I think so too. We shall see. I will keep you posted, girlfriend. I'm currently, in the kitchen mixing. I've been having really great results with fenugreek. I really like my fenugreek stuff. And so if I do choose to launch a product line, girlfriend, a hair care product line, I'm going to bring you along the entire journey. Girlfriend, if I'm going to go through this, you're going through it too, as it relates to creating this product. We are going through it together. And I mean it. We're going to go through the entire process together. We're going to choose the packaging. We're going to choose what's in there. I want to bring you along this journey because I'm only on YouTube because of you. Like, I always tell this story. I started on Instagram documenting my own journey for me. That was it. Like, I heard the Natural Hair Rocks slogan went viral, and I was like, hey, Fine Natural Hair Rocks too. And that's how I just started my thing, for myself, like just trying to build up my own esteem because I wasn't feeling good about having fine natural strands. It was a real point of contention for me early on, right? It wasn't growing, it wasn't thick, it wasn't strong, it wasn't any of those things. And so Fast forward a little bit later and people started following it and having the same issues. And here we are with our Curlfriend crew today on YouTube. So, I mean, if our Curlfriend crew wants a natural hair care product that's just for fine natural strands, why not? Why not? Neat Dank says same. Aw. It could be really nice. It could be really nice. I'm just saying. Hamza says Apogee has a new formulation, two-step protein treatment that has crazy slip in step one. I haven't found a detangler with that much slip. That's fantastic. So I tried the Apogee two-step treatment way back when, and I love the second part, so like the protein piece. But I don't remember trying step one. I'm gonna go look for that. Mohamza, was it in Sally's? Because like I don't know if you have a Sally's where you're located, but for me, we have a Sally's and they've got really well priced Apogee products. I'm gonna go check it out. Island Girl, Blue Magic does nothing for me. I love how you just said that so cavalierly. It does nothing for me. You know what? I don't blame you. It's funny because when I saw the TikTok trending thing, like Blue Magic was big when we were all little girls, and therefore it's big now too, blah, blah, blah. I went out and I bought one. And let me tell you, girlfriend, I haven't even opened it. Haven't even opened it. I think that's going to be another product that I just give to my niece or my cousins because I mean, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to put this thing on my hair. It's very heavy. So that's the piece that is kind of, deterring me from even trying it because I know my hair doesn't like heavy things. And I don't like heavy things on my hair either because it just doesn't look right. It's already fine to begin with. I don't want to make it even more finer and more flat looking than it already is. So yeah, I'm really interested to know the girlfriends with fine hair that Blue Magic works for because I'm not somebody who likes wasting money and I would really like to be able to use the product. It's just I don't know how. Knee banks, can Shebe go on the scalp as well? Yes, I'm down to go through the journey with you. Yay! So Shebe, I think I don't see why not. So I don't grease my scalp. That's another thing. I don't grease my scalp. I don't see a point to it. Every time I've applied an oil or a grease to my scalp, it's caused me issues like either dandruff or some type of seborrheic dermatitis. Like it's just not working for me. So I don't really do that. But if you're somebody who does oil your scalp and you wanted to try it out, I'd be interested to know how that works. I typically only put it on my strands either if I'm doing it dry, it's because I've got a blowout like how I do now. If I'm doing it on freshly washed hair, then I'll do it to seal in the moisture after a leave-in conditioner, but I've never applied it directly to my scalp. Amina, my hair loves Blue Magic after shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in. My hair is soft and moisturized for days. I use it only on wash days and never on fried hair. Yeah, see, so like I feel like there are some of us who have real regimens around the Blue Magic, and I feel like it can work. Like I see it working. I don't see why not. You know what? When I think about Blue Magic back in my childhood, though, I don't remember it working then either for me. So I don't even know why I fell into this trend. TikTok made me buy it. TikTok definitely made me buy it, but dry hair. Yeah, I see that, Amina. So yeah, like and never on dry hair. So I mean, in theory and principle, I see how it could work, but it's one of those things where like you got to try it, and if it doesn't work for you, just know that it's not you. It's just that particular product with those particular ingredients is not the best. For your hair type. Patricia Jenkins, what's the best protein treatment for fine naturals? So right now I am loving the Olaplex system. So the last time I got a deep protein treatment was at the salon. So I haven't done my own protein treatment using Olaplex, but it's like a reconstructor. And so that was really good. Now, the one that I do at home myself is actually a hard AphoG treatment. And I only ever do that maybe once a year, maybe twice a year max, because it is very, very heavy. Now, in between, I like to use the Jamaican Black Castor Oil, that protein deep conditioner from Shea Moisture. And all of these products that I'm mentioning, Curlfriend, are available in the link in the description box. You can find them and purchase them off of Amazon or Beauty Club outlets. Everything is going to be there for you to find if you're interested. But yeah, the Olaplex system I think is really nice. I have also tried the K18, that new mask where it's like you put it on the hair. It's like a leave-in. a leave-in protein treatment. That was interesting. I thought that worked really well too. And then, if you don't know what your hair needs, because let's be real, that happens, there are some great deep conditioners that can help you with that. So I find that the Uncle Funky's Heal and Renew, that's a nice like balancing protein moisture deep conditioner. And then of course Mael's Babasu and Mint Deep Conditioner, that's a really nice one as well. But as it relates to protein treatments, if I really want to go in with a hard protein treatment, for me, it's at home, it's my tried and trusty and true Apogee. And then if I'm at the salon, they're all up on the new stuff. So the Olaplex is what we've been using lately. And both of them work really nicely. It's just I haven't used Olaplex at home yet. Mahamza, I bought Apogee online. I live in the boonies, no chance of a Sally's. Oh no, that's not good. Well, you know what? Praise God for online, because anything you want, anything you need, you can absolutely get it by going online. So that's fantastic. I love that. Patricia, which Olaplex number should we use? So they've got the entire line. I'm going to go on Sephora right now. I don't know off the top of my head. So let's go to Sephora together and see if I can find the one that, I think would work the best for our strands. So of course, here we are. We're on the Sephora website. I'm going to go in and put Olaplex. So yeah. So it could be the hair repair perfector, I think it might be. The conditioner is just a regular conditioner. So girlfriend, with Olaplex, like there's a lot of confusion around it, but I realized that they're just giving numbers to the process, right? So number 4 is just a shampoo. Number 5 is just a conditioner. 0 is a bond building hair treatment. I've seen naturals using this as a pre-shampoo. And it says that it's for fine, medium, and thick hair. So if we hop into the how to use piece, it says apply slowly to dry hair, distributing evenly from root to tip. Lightly saturate, let process for 10 minutes. Do not rinse. And okay, so this is something different. I don't think it's the number 0 that I used, although I do have this at home as well. But I think it was actually, maybe it was the 0. So like I said, my stylist did this for me. And I think she probably did go in with the 0. So number 8 is just an intense moisture mask. Number 6 is the bond smoother. Number 4 is, I think, if you have colored strands. Yeah, that's a blonde enhancing toner shampoo. Number 5 is another conditioner, bond maintenance conditioner. We spoke about that. Yeah, so between the 0 and the 3, I think this is looking really familiar to me in terms of what she used. I think it was the number 3. So this, in terms of how to use it, you want to apply it from roots to ends on unwashed towel dried hair. So we didn't do it on unwashed hair, we did it on freshly washed hair, and then comb through once and leave on for a minimum of 10 minutes or more. So this process, girlfriend, full disclosure, I have never done this on my own strands by myself. I haven't. And so if you wanted to do something like this for yourself from home, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the experience is like from doing it from home, because I haven't done it from home. I actually do have the system down there. So I'm going to make a note to myself to, number 1, I'm going to go through this a little bit more to research it, so that when I do put it on my hair, I leave with still having some hair. So we will do it together. So I'm just going to make a note to myself to do an Olaplex system review video, because it can be used at home. And I mean, Apogee is a hard treatment. Like your hair gets rock hard. Like you can literally like knock it and it's just like strong and hard, and like you can actually hear it. Like it feels like an egg, and it's yellow too. So I mean, if I could get through the Apogee, I don't see why I couldn't get through Olaplex. So yes, look out for your shout out in there, Patricia. All right, knee banks. What do you use to blow out your hair? Example, comb or brush through it, dry hair or wet hair. It's so hard to blow out my hair. Yeah, so I actually use the Rivera, and I only use the Rivera. I don't use anything else on my hair. I find from my experience blow drying my natural hair that I was experiencing a lot of not dandruff, a lot of breakage. And so I just stopped doing it because it didn't seem like a style that was conducive to growth. I liked the look, but I didn't like the massive amount of manipulation needed to like brush through the hair, blow out the hair, brush through some more. Like, it was just too much. And on top of it, my technique wasn't even that great. So when I did purchase the Revere, it made a huge difference because literally you just feed your hair on into the device and it blows it on out. So, for those of you who haven't seen that review video, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the chat, because I really find that it's made a huge difference. Now, there's actually a whole playlist that's here on Find Natural Hair Rocks because I do talk about it quite often. And I will actually just go ahead and share that because, like, the playlist has either, quick videos that you could watch if you only have a couple of seconds to talk to learn more about it. Or if you want to really dive deep, there are longer videos there as well too. So I'm just going to grab this and I will leave that in the chat for whoever is interested in it. But yes, it makes a huge difference. Because yeah, like, when your hair is blown out, it again comes back to that piece that I mentioned. Like, you don't have as much opportunity for it to break off. Island Girl, Walmart and Target also sell AFO-G. Yes, they do. I don't know if they do it in Canada. Yeah, they do actually. I feel like I've seen it in Canada. Anyways, yes, Walmart and Target are fantastic for that. Amina, my Fav Olaplex are 0 and 3, and the shampoo's 4 and 4C clarifying shampoo without sulfate. Yeah, a lot of people have seen great success with the Olaplex systems, and I've seen it too. It's just I haven't done it myself from home because, like, I wasn't quite sure how this fit into, like, the protein treatment structure. Because AFO-G is just a protein and that's it, right? But then you've got Olaplex, which they're like, it's not a protein, it's a reconstructor. And I was like, okay, but, like, what does that mean? Because, like, in my mind, there's moisture and there's protein, so you have to be one or the other. And Olaplex is definitely not moisture as it relates to, like, the whole reconstructing the hair bit. So when I hear reconstructing, or restructuring, anything like that, to me that sounds like protein. Ooh, Patricia Jenkins, have you ever tried the Timo comb straightener? I have never tried that, and I have not even heard of that. I never heard of that before. I'm over here making my notes, Patricia, because I have not heard of that one before. I'm going to check it out as soon as we are done. Actually, let's check it out now. That looks really interesting. So the Timo comb straightener. How did this one miss me? Oh, is that the one that, like, they straighten your hair with what do you call it there? With, like, steam? I feel like it's almost like a play on the Revere, except this one is actually giving you a straight up and down blowout. So this is the Timo Ring. Oh, that's a good price too. You know how sometimes they be telling you like $600 for a new device? I don't know if this is it, Patricia, but no, I haven't tried this. I haven't heard of it. I'm going to do my research and look into it a little bit more, but it's a 2-in-1 styling tool. Okay. And it suits all hair types. All right. We'll see about that. Interesting. Huh. Straightening hair in half the time. Less heat damage, anti-scald, easy operation, travel friendly. Nice. Thanks for letting me know about that. I'm definitely going to look into that a little bit more. Mahomes like, yes, please do an Olaplex series. Done. Timo, cool. Island Girl, I bought a Timo for Black Friday. It was 50% off. Haven't used it yet. Interesting. So the one that I showed everybody, is that the one? I just want to make sure that I'm, like, looking up the right one. I'm also going to do my research here on YouTube to see, what others are saying about it. But for me personally, like, I don't like my hair jet straight anyways. Like, this straightness is actually more than enough for me. I feel like when it gets too straight, it then gets too flat. And my face is very round. I like to have a little bit of body to the hair. And so this, like, when it's too straight, too flat, it just, I feel like, takes out all of, like, the character from my strands, and it just doesn't work as well for me. But I'm interested in checking it out regardless to see. Yeah, it does look interesting, right, Gil? So, yeah, I think we went through the 3 major things on how to avoid tangles. So number 1, moisturizing regularly and before your hair gets dry. Number 2, installing styles that don't tangle the hair when you put them in and when you take them out. And number 3, using products with tons of slip. Girlfriend, I hope today's Curl Chat Live was very successful and helpful for you. I hope you leave this learning something new, having something to implement into your hair care regimen until we connect again. Definitely stay tuned to Find Natural Hair Rocks. I am going to be releasing the last and final day of the cruise. It's probably going to be a shorts video just because there's some more content that is really pressing and I think is really needed for the Curlfriend crew. Specifically, I am going to be sharing with you my thoughts on a really fantastic pre-poo from another Black-owned company, but just showing you just exactly how well this particular pre-poo works. And it's a full tutorial, very nice video that, I feel like people need to see and want to see. Like, you've asked for it, so I'm definitely going to provide it. Nadoom says Timo has been around for a few years. I think they used to have a straightening brush. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Amina says, I'm waiting for this Black Friday too to purchase it. Yes, Black Friday. I can't wait till that comes through. Like, hopefully I'll be through more of my products. Oh, I've gotten through a lot of them so far. So I've got like a little bag over there that has all my empties, because I know we like to look at empties and see what worked and what didn't now that the whole product is done. So that's going to be coming to you shortly as well. Yes, hit the thumbs up button, everybody. For, replay gang, hit up the thumbs up button. My girlfriends who are here live and in the flesh, go ahead and hit up that thumbs up button as well. I really do appreciate it. Blessings to you all. Yes, Amina, bye y'all. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend for sure, for sure. Mahamza, seriously, I learn something new every Friday. This is great. Keep it up. Thank you. I love to hear it. Thank you so much for that positive feedback. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for chilling here on Financial Hair Rocks on your Friday afternoon, your Friday evening. Have an amazing weekend. Stay blessed. And yeah, we will connect on Monday for our full video, and maybe sometime over the weekend for a quick shorts video here on Financial Hair Rocks. I love you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye.